Most of what I say is complete truth. My edit button is broken.
Whatever happens to your body, your soul will survive, untouched. Emotion often outwits intelligence, while intuition renders life surprisingly fluent and enjoyable. If you reveal your secrets to the wind, you should not blame the wind for revealing them to the trees. People are going to say what they want to say, and think what they want to think, and I can't change their minds.
We seek the fire of the spark that is already within us.
The bird of paradise alights only upon the hand that does not grasp. Never stop fighting, never stop dreaming. Never allow a person to tell you no who doesn't have the power to say yes.
It is the privilege of the gods to want nothing, and of godlike men to want little.
The fact that you aren't where you want to be should be enough motivation.
When inequality takes root, a garden of problems flourishes. Patience and improvement is the key to opening the door to progress. The most dangerous of all falsehoods is a slightly distorted truth. Anyone who does anything creative is always going to want to change.
If you want to be happy, do not dwell in the past. Do not worry about the future. Focus on living fully in the present. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Spoon-feeding in the long run teaches us nothing but the shape of the spoon.
A tiny change today brings a dramatically different tomorrow.
Success is something you experience when you act accordingly. Success is not something you have, it's something you do. If you're making mistakes, it means you're out there doing something.
Time cannot put anything in your hands until you let go of the time.
Sometimes what seems like a destination is actually a bridge to a new chapter. Truth persuades by teaching, but does not teach by persuading.
Just let it be. If it's meant to be, it will happen. There is no saint without a past, no sinner without a future. Hearing voices no one else can hear isn't a good sign, even in the wizarding world. Success, for most people, requires unlearning as much as learning.
Intelligence is more important than strength. That is why Earth is ruled by men and not by animals.
When you walk in silence, your excellence will always speak for you. Do not fear the thorns in your path, for they draw only corrupt blood. Cleverness isn't always true, nor is the truth always clever.
We are here, and it is now. The way I see it is, after that, everything tends towards guesswork. Believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself. Any fool can be happy. It takes a man with real heart to make beauty out of the stuff that makes us weep. The happiness of the drop is to die in the river. Future generations will remember me not for sitting on that chair, but for getting up when the time came. For those who believe, no proof is necessary. For those who don't believe, no proof is possible. Knighthood lies above eternity. It doesn't live off fame, but rather deeds.
I could die for you, but I couldn't and wouldn't live for you.
Two wrongs don't make a right, but they make a good excuse. Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. Never compete with someone who has nothing to lose.
Fear defeats more people than any other one thing in the world. One half of the world cannot understand the pleasures of the other. The truth doesn't cost anything, but a lie could cost you everything.
Don't compare your life to others. You have no idea what their journey is all about. If you don't care for obscenity, you don't care for the truth. If you don't care for the truth, watch how you vote.
Tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything.
Life is not complex. We are complex. Life is simple, and the simple thing is the right thing.
Life happens, shit happens, and it happens a lot, to a lot of people.
Attaining recognition is an individual journey. It cannot be bestowed upon us by others.
Nothing can be more hurtful to your heart than betraying yourself.
Selling my soul would be a lot easier if I could just find it.
It takes greater faith to dance in the dark than to rest in light. I've never had anyone's approval, so I've learned to live without it.
Sometimes the things that break your heart end up fixing your vision.
I'd rather hear an ugly truth rather than an obscure lie.
A kind thought, word, or action creates infinite ripples of caring, consideration, and peace.
The butterfly counts not months, but moments, and has time enough. If you know both yourself and your enemy, you can win 100 battles without a single loss. If what one has to say is not better than silence, then one should keep silent. The job of feet is walking, but the hobby is dancing.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Sometimes you get pushed out, not because you're not worth it, you are worth more. I believe I can fly, I believe I can touch the sky. You cannot score a goal when you are sitting on the bench. To do so, you have to dress up and enter the game. You just keep pushing. You just keep pushing. I made every mistake that could be made, but I just kept pushing. Sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. Money gives you freedom. Freedom gives you happiness. It is easier to be wise for others than for ourselves.
Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose.
It used to be about trying to do something. Now it's about trying to be someone. Comfort is no test of truth. Truth is often far from being comfortable.
After all, if you run far enough, no one can catch you. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain.
If the moment is everything, then everything is time. The only person that has power to put boundaries on your dreams is you. You do the same as me or my generation, you will get the same results. BEBOLD. Go against the grain. Human life is but a series of footnotes to a vast, obscure, unfinished masterpiece. A point of view can be a dangerous luxury when substituted for insight and understanding. We can know only that we know nothing, and that is the highest degree of human wisdom. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing.
Keep the fight in your veins, honey. Never let it fade.
To turn your dreams into reality, all your resources, efforts, and concentration should be aligned in the same direction. Every great cause begins as a movement, becomes a business, and eventually degenerates into a racket. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. Life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man could invent. I have no ambition to govern men. It is a painful and thankless office.
I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist, and right. Follow your heart. Listen to your inner voice. Stop caring about what others think.
If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. Most men would rather deny a hard truth than face it. There is nothing impossible to they who will try.
If ignorant both of your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril.
Not in his speech, not in his thoughts, I see his greatness, only in his actions, in his life. I just want to teach people how to be comfortable. Stop being so scared. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated.
Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I am not sure about the universe. What you do is what matters, not what you think or say or plan.
A preoccupation with the next world clearly shows an inability to cope credibly with this one.
A conscious human is driven by their conscience, not popular opinion. If you think you have enough knowledge, you are still ignorant. Always be a learner. Over time, hidden truths morph in the dark soil of deceit into something much worse.
Like a running blaze on a plain, like a flash of lightning in the clouds, we live in the flicker. Look at the sky tonight. All the stars have a reason. Never trust a person that has let you down more than 2 times. Once was a warning, twice was a lesson, and anything more than that is simply taking advantage. Problems in science are sometimes made easier by adding complications. Sometimes you lie to deceive people. Sometimes you lie because you need the lie to become the truth.
The longing for paradise is man's longing not to be man.
People at war with themselves will always cause collateral damage in the lives of those around them. Youth is easily deceived because it is quick to hope. Deliverance is not for me in renunciation. I feel the embrace of freedom in 1,000 bonds of delight.
When envoys are sent with compliments in their mouths, it is a sign that the enemy wishes for a truce. In the end, the world always wins. That's just the way of things. I kept always 2 books in my pocket, one to read, one to write in.
All men want, not something to do with, but something to do, or rather something to be.
You must let suffering speak if you want to hear the truth.
The 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just gotta find the one worth suffering for. Your body is the church where nature asks to be reverenced. Unless you realize your true self as the divine, your life is meaningless.
Because you can only die once, but you can suffer forever. You endure what is unbearable, and you bear it. That is all. Everything that is done in this world is done by hope.
Flexibility makes buildings to be stronger. Imagine what it can do to your soul.
Maturity is when you stop complaining and making excuses and start making changes.
Of course, a sign doesn't mean anything unless you know how to interpret it.
Do not use life to give life to death. Do not use death to bring death to life.
We believe in ordinary acts of bravery, in the courage that drives one person to stand up for another. The clarity that comes without desperation is the clarity that carries authority. Life has become immeasurably better since I have been forced to stop taking it seriously. I trust that everything happens for a reason, even if we are not wise enough to see it. Man suffers only because he takes seriously what the gods made for fun. Challenge and adversity are meant to help you know who you are. Storms hit your weakness, but unlock your true strength. Being realistic is the quickest path to mediocrity. Never give up on anybody. Miracles happen every day. The only way to escape the corruptible effect of praise is to go on working. Almost anyone can be an author. The business is to collect money and fame from this state of being.
Deeds will not be less valiant because they are unpraised.
If your absence doesn't affect them, your presence never mattered. Discipline your mind to see the good in every situation and look on the best side of every event.
Slowing down was how we remembered what we never wanted to forget. May my heart be kind, my mind fierce, and my spirit brave.
Not only are we all unique, we're also all connected. Therefore, it makes no sense that you could ever be rejected. There are no traffic jams along the extra mile. Grateful people are happy people. The more things you are grateful for, the happier you will be. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. Religious structure often dilutes the spiritual experience.
You like me not because I like you. I like you just because I like me.
There are two tragedies in life. One is to lose your heart's desire. The other is to gain it. My world is about stories that entertain, emotions that move, people you'll remember, literature that matters. There's nothing more embarrassing than to have earned the disfavor of a perceptive animal. It is impossible or not easy to alter by argument what has long been absorbed by habit.
Everything is created twice, first in the mind and then in reality.
We started off trying to set up a small anarchist community, but people wouldn't obey the rules. If anyone on the verge of action should judge himself according to the outcome, he would never begin. I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I have ended up where I needed to be. Every comforting word is a command from a man of action, while every word of command is commotion from a man of just words.
Therefore the good fighter will be terrible in his onset and prompt in his decision.
Scars show us where we have been. They do not dictate where we are going. The inner revolution will not be televised or sold on the internet. It must take place within one's own mind and heart.
The goal is to reduce the time of suffering, not eliminate it.
You are confined only by the walls you build yourself.
Hats have power. Hats can change you into someone else.
If you really want the key to success, start by doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing.
No crime is a means to an end. No crime can be rationalized.
Your life will not end with death. You are immortal. You are always there, and you always will be. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Prepare yourself for success. You have to see it coming to get there.
Maneuvering with an army is advantageous. With an undisciplined multitude, most dangerous. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength.
We never know how high we are till we are called to rise. Then, if we are true to form, our statures touch the skies. Find the things that matter and hold on to them and fight for them and refuse to let them go. This body is fragile. It is just flesh. Listen to the heartbeat. Life depends on the pumping of a muscle. You can't find someone who doesn't want to be found.
The desire to reach for the stars is ambitious. The desire to reach hearts is wise.
If you think life is magical or life is hard, either way you are right. Your thoughts are the source of reality. I want to build to that mogul, legendary level.
People who keep stiff upper lips find that it's damn hard to smile. A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what it's built for. The consequences of every act are included in the act itself.
Do not go where the path may lead.
If those at your top are weak, your bottom will be rotten.
Your environment will eat your goals and plans for breakfast. Life is not about perfection. It's about persistence. People can cry much easier than they can change. We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful about what we pretend to be.
You're thinking about something, and it makes you forget to talk.
And all the lives we ever lived, and all the lives to be, are full of tree sand, changing leaves. Live and act within the limit of your knowledge, and keep expanding it to the limit of your life.
Realize deeply that the present moment is all you will ever have. Better to get hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie.
The minute I stopped trying to find the right girl and started trying to become the right guy, the girl came. As long as you gave everything you had and you didn't let it break you, it could never be considered a failure. I have often wished I had time to cultivate modesty, but I am too busy thinking about myself. The peak efficiency of knowledge and strategy is to make conflict unnecessary. The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think. Please go for your dreams. Whatever your ideals, you can become whatever you want to become. When we give cheerfully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed.
I believe in looking reality straight in the eye and denying it.
We have been called to heal wounds, to unite what has fallen apart, and to bring home those who have lost their way. The secret of life is honesty and fair dealing. If you can fake that, you've got it made. A strange thing, words. Once they're said, it's hard to imagine they're untrue.
During a conversation, listening is as powerful as loving.
The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried.
The gods are fond of the cryptic and dislike the evident.
Sometimes you need to burn bridges to stop yourself from crossing them again. You should expect mistakes in your life. Mistakes are expected, inspected, and respected. Death is the easy part. The hard part is living and knowing you could be so much more than you're willing to be. Everything in this world happens with a purpose. You are born in this world with a purpose. You are chosen by purpose. It doesn't matter how smart you are unless you stop and think. A burning desire has devious ways of transmuting itself into its physical equivalent. Defeat is not the worst of failures. Not to have tried is the true failure.
Life is not about living the safer option. Life is about living a life worth living. A kind gesture can reach a wound that only compassion can heal.
Success is doing what you want to do, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, as much as you want. In the end, Lex should have stuck to his lies, for it was the truth he almost told that killed him. I never expect a perfect work from an imperfect man. The act of going within, finding our truth and then sharing it, it helps us far more than we know. The place where you made your stand never mattered, only that you were there and still on your feet. I think that you've got to make something that pleases you and hope that other people feel the same way. The past is apparition, the future a shifting illusion. Time is a trick, this moment is all there is. Only by examining our personal biases can we grow as artists. Only by cultivating empathy can we grow as people. Regrets are about decisions that you know you should have done different.
Darkness ages faster than you'd think. It doesn't loiter on forever.
Everybody gets so much information all day long that they lose their common sense. If you don't give up on something you truly believe in, you will find a way.
Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. If you wish to be out front, then act as if you were behind. The worst part of being okay is that okay is far from happy.
If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Hearts are breakable, Isabel said, and I think even when you heal, you're never what you were before. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. I'm not mean, I'm honest. Nobody is ever straightforward. But sometimes people need to hear the truth. Believe in sudden shifts in life. You never know what is coming for you. It doesn't matter where you are coming from. All that matters is where you are going.
I believe in spectacles, but I think eyes necessary too.
Don't find fault, find a remedy. Anybody can complain. Feeling beautiful has nothing to do with what you look like. Promise. In the face of change, do not be afraid to spread your wings and let the winds guide you to new horizons. Prediction is very difficult, especially about the future. Choose your steps wisely because your footprints may be followed by others.
War is a matter of vital importance to the state. Keep a little fire burning, however small, however hidden.
People will not remember what you did for living. They will remember how you touched them with kindness and loving. If this is long delayed, weapons are blunted and morale depressed. True success cannot be achieved until you have experienced failure.
To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is a disgrace. Always be friendly, always be kind, like the most beautiful flower that you can find. Growth and advancement happen outside the comfort zone.
Gather the best you have to offer and create a heartfelt, prosperous life full of purpose. There is no dark side of the moon, really. As a matter of fact, it's all dark. Normal is an illusion. What is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly.
Life is a mystery to be lived, not a problem to be solved.
What others think about you is none of your business. There are truths which are not for all men, nor for all times.
We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. Begin by seizing something which your opponent holds dear. Then he will be amenable to your will.
An intelligent man is one who acknowledges his intelligence as that of those who surround him.
The only real battle in life is between hanging on and letting go.
You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometime.
The line between disorder and order lies in logistics. When something can be read without effort, great effort has gone into its writing.
Neither the sun nor death can be looked at steadily.
The way to screw up somebody's life is to give them what they want. Transmit the established facts. Do not transmit words of exaggeration. If you do that, you will probably come out all right.
Sometimes you have to take 2 steps back to take 10 forward. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Do not wait for life. Do not long for it. Be aware always and at every moment that the miracle is in the here and now.
If at first You don't succeed. Destroy all evidence that you tried.
The more I live, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I realize, the less I know.
An opinion should be the result of thought, not a substitute for it.
Sometimes I can hear my bones straining under the weight of all the lives I'm not living. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who fight battles we know nothing about.
Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great.
I am not afraid to die. I am only afraid of saying goodbye to you forever. Feelings are real. They often become one's reality, but they are not always based on truth.
I would never die for my beliefs, because I might be wrong.